Well, next on Getting Up to Speed, it's going to be our first female race car driver guest. It's Bailey Jean. She's a sprint car driver out of Granite Falls, Washington. She's here to tell us all about the exciting things that happened to her and her family in 2022, as well as the exciting things she hopes to accomplish in 2023. That's coming up next. Hello, I'm Ben Dethridge, and I'm the host of Getting Up to Speed. We talk to sprint car drivers from the Pacific Coast, whether they race in Oregon, Washington, California. If they run it, we're going to talk about it. Also branch out a little bit, as well as drivers that perhaps are from here that race elsewhere, or some drivers that come in and try and take some money from the West Coast. In these episodes, we talk about past experience, past seasons, as well as upcoming races, as well as how's the season going. We hope you enjoy these episodes. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps us out. And stay tuned for more and more content. Now let's get into the interview. Well, we've dialed her up, and she is live now. Driver the number 14B sprint car from Granite Falls, Washington, Bailey Jean. Bailey, great to have you on here with Getting Up to Speed. And you are our first female guest on here, so I hope you're honored by that privilege.
Yeah, thank you, Ben, for having me. Like I told you, I've been listening to this since it started, and just super excited to talk about race cars. It's been a long off season, and I'm ready to get back at it. I know.
It's here, literally. Like, the Outlaws have started, the All-Stars have started, Pennsylvania's started, California's trying to start, but no doubt. We'll just dive right into it. 2022 for you, majority of the time was spent in the 360 division, and had 10 starts at Skagit Speedway, resulted in 2 top 10s, did have a top 5, and 8 of those starts were local, but you ran against some stiff competition and was able to produce some top 10s and that aforementioned top 5 last season up at Skagit.
Yeah, I don't think it's a secret. Trey Starks came back and kind of whooped all of us. He's just incredible out there watching him race. Definitely took the 360 class to a next level. The 360 class this year, good car counts, good competition. That's something you really get pretty much every week at Skagit. We dabbled in the 410 class, and really that's what I wanted to focus on. Unfortunately, rain kept us from, I think, almost half of our starts in the 410 last year. So that was a bum, but yeah, overall it was a great year. I learned a lot in the 410, and I think it did transpire into the 360 class a bit. So we're just excited to get on to 2023 and really focus on our 410 program.
Well, you did accomplish 1 start in the 410s and finished 8th place. Got your 3rd top 10 of the year. That had to feel pretty good.
Yeah, it was. We did the Dirt Cup tune-up night. That was obviously a bunch of Californians, great guys racing out there. So that was a learning experience. Attempted at Dirt Cup. Unfortunately, it ended up pretty early, first heat of the first night. We went upside down. So that was a bum, but I did get to race against the World of Outlaws for 4 nights. We did travel down to Elma. So I got to race against them in the 410, and just the experience that I gained from that and talking to the different drivers, and just watching them, honestly, being out there and racing against them, it was a dream come true.
No doubt. And finished 11th in points in 360s at Skagit in the points table. I mean, that isn't too bad considering there were so many guys and girls that were racing there a lot last year.
Yeah, I think we definitely could have done better in the 360 class. We had a few rear end issues that resulted in DNFs for the first 3 races. So that really put a damper on our season. After that, we really were just like, let's finish a race and let's try and finish in one piece. So, I think, you can't hang your head up too much on that kind of stuff. We did our best. We replaced parts. It wasn't in our cards those nights. So, 11th place, it's not too bad, but I definitely think we could have done better last year, just focusing on those kind of things.
And then in the 410, that was your first time ever last season?
Yeah, correct. So, tried to get out for play day. It didn't end up happening with the weather, and then just kept raining, and it did not stop raining in Washington until like mid-June. So, The first race, was Dirt Cup tune-up night. So against a lot of really heavy hitters. But I think, I just told myself that, you got to start somewhere. And we went out there and we learned as much as we could. And this year, Skagit's got, 15 races, I believe, on their schedule. So really just getting those laps in this year is going to be our main goal.
And did you have to change your driving style at all with the difference in the horsepower for the 410 or anything of that nature, or did it fit like a glove?
Yeah. So I'm still learning. They're an animal. It's crazy, the power to weight ratio in those things. You step on the gas and it's there, it's ready to go. I think the 360 class, you can get away with a lot more mistakes. In the 410 class, it's just really easy to kill your momentum. So just been really focusing on trying to keep my driving as straight and clean as I can, but also running as hard as I can. Just because the cars they're designed to go fast, and so if you're not going fast, they're not always working properly. So
sure.
Just making sure I can drive it as hard as I can and really trusting the car that it's going to do what I would like it to do.
And so when you went back to the 360, being that you were going so much faster in a 410, did that kind of, instead of the 410 sort of speed things up for you, did the 360 kind of slow things down there where you were able to maybe give better wheel input or throttle control?
Yeah, for sure. I kind of compare it to like micros. When we would travel down to like banks, it was like you were reading like a book, right? It's just everything is a lot slower. I think it helped me in the 360 just really be able to focus on my driving more and be aware of my mistakes as a driver. Just being able to see where I should have maybe went to the cushion 5 laps sooner. Just small things like that. I think when you slow it down and really calculate it out, it does help in the end. Nice.
And talking about 2023, have you guys got it all mapped out as far as your racing schedule?
Yeah, for right now. I think things change pretty quickly, especially around the racing world. But yeah, right now, like I said, we're just going to focus on the 410 program. They've got 15 races scheduled at Skagit, so we'll definitely be at those ones. I'd like to travel out of town. We haven't been able to travel a lot in the past couple years, but I would love to get down to California if we could, or check out Medford or the new Roseburg track even. So we always keep ourselves open for that kind of thing, but we do have our sponsors here locally and a lot of supporters, so I do like to support our local track as well.
No doubt. So, but you're saying there's a chance we might have a 360 cameo from you at some point.
Yeah, I would love to. It's really, I have a lot of friends and family down in Oregon. As you know, my dad lives down in Oregon, so I really would love to get down there and be able to race in front of them. And I think just seeing everybody around the racetrack, the atmosphere there is just so fun. We went to Medford in the Limited. We've been down to Cottage Grove. You guys just have fun down there. So we'd like to try if we can. But we've got some races before that and then Dirt Cup right after. So we want to make sure we're setting ourselves up for a good position for Dirt Cup as well.
Yeah, no doubt. That's understandable. 2022, we talked about the racing side of things, but personally, big year for you and a special person.
Yes, I did get married in August to Chase Getz. It's pretty crazy, I think. I never really thought that I'd end up with a race car driver, but sure. it goes well. I think we push each other a lot harder. And he understands it. So when I text him on a Wednesday and say, hey, let's go racing at this track, he's always down. So it really is fun just living life with him and being able to grow as individuals and together.
No doubt. I think that's really important in a partnership that, sometimes it's ups and downs. Like he may be having a good season. He had a great season last year, actually. At Skagit.
Yeah, he did.
And then, not saying that this is going to happen or has happened, but maybe you just feel like, man, I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I'm doing the same thing as him, but to find that balance and support where, as you said, you push each other and lift each other up when needed.
Yeah, and I think that to bounce off of that, he is my biggest fan, my biggest supporter. He's drove my car a couple times, and the feedback that he's willing to provide on those to get me in a better position. We didn't really know much about shocks. I didn't come from a multi-generation racing family. I'm the first one to go racing. So, I don't have a dad or a grandpa that knows all of these tips and tricks. We're just kind of learning as we go.
Sure.
But having Chase and Alan, too, his dad, both they're so incredibly smart with how these cars work. And, they can watch me as a driver and say, hey, you should be doing this more than this or whatever it may be. So, yeah, he really is a huge help on my race program.
No doubt. And I like to ask this for drivers because everyone has their own individual answer. But when you're not racing, especially in the off season, what is Bailey Jean generally up to?
Oh man, in the off season, we love hockey.
Okay.
We go to quite a few hockey games. Usually just WHL. We've got the Silver Tips up here.
Mm-hmm.
We've went to a Kraken game before, but getting glass seats for WHL is just cheaper and a lot more fun, I think. So we do that, but also just spending time with my family. During summer, I am super busy, especially between work and racing, trying to balance that out. So I like to spend my winter months just with my families. We do our family vacays during the winter months and all that good stuff. So.
Well, I did an interview with him a couple days ago, so he may be listening to this now, but Chase Rodman with the World of Outlaws became a major convert to the faith of hockey. So when they're up there for the swing, you and Chase might have to rib him a little, and he's actually starting to become a Krakens fan.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. No, that's really cool though. That you get to go and do some stuff and enjoy outside of racing, because sometimes, it consumes us completely, and we don't become it makes us different a little bit in some interesting ways, but it's always good to find things to do outside of that, especially family.
Yeah, I think, and my family's a huge supporter of me. They really do dedicate their summers to me as well. They're always at the racetrack with me. And helping me, sell merchandise, work on the car, clean the car, whatever I need. So, it's the least I could do for them. They are really, like I said, my biggest fans. So, yeah, we just like to hang out and go places. And, we're actually heading down to Oregon next weekend after that to go to the beach for a family trip before we, really start the season. So
awesome. Which beach? Is it like Florence or Lincoln City?
We are going to Waldport, I believe.
Okay. Oh, right in between both of them. So
yeah.
Yeah, nice. Waldport's nice. It's nice and small, and you don't get the crazy tourist attraction.
Right. Yeah, my grandparents love going there. It'll be my grandma's birthday, so.
Nice. So obviously 2023 focus is going to be on the 410. Beyond that, would you like to perhaps go out of state more or make a run to the Midwest for a couple weeks, if obviously money wasn't an option?
Yeah, I went out to Knoxville in 2020. We spent a couple weeks out there. We raced with ASTS back there. And man, it's just a different atmosphere back there. I mean, everybody knows what a sprint car is. You're here in Knoxville, you can't go anywhere without everybody talking about sprint cars.
Sure.
When you're out here in the Pacific Northwest, you say sprint car, people are like, oh, what a go-kart, or they don't know at all. So I think just being back there, just outside of the racing, just to enjoy the atmosphere is amazing. And then you get in the race car, and you're going so fast at Knoxville, you really keep the car straight there. But you do really learn a lot about your driving, and I think that transpired. We came home that year. Next race got third. Race after that, we won. So it really did help me and my driving personally. I would love to take the 410 back there. I think that would that's the last thing off my bucket list in the sprint car world. Before I have to make a new one. So,
Sure.
Yeah, I think that that's definitely in our future. I'm not sure about this year just because, like I said, I really would like to get some solid laps before going back there and competing at that level. So, we may see it in the upcoming future.
Well, that's awesome. And you mentioned you guys have merchandise for sale. Is there a good outlet for people that may be listening, may not be able to see you weekly at Skagit, or may not be coming out for the Outlaw Swing, that they can either look at team news, your race schedule, or any merchandise that they could perhaps order from online?
Yeah, I have everything on my Facebook. It's super easy. It's just Bailey Jean. We also do have a racing page, which is Bailey Jean Racing. So both of them super simple to find. I am going to be rolling out with brand new merchandise at the end of March. So definitely keep your guys' eye out for that. We'll have sweatshirts and T-shirts for that. But yeah, that's where I post my schedule, results. We try and keep weekly updates. Definitely results after the weekend. So Facebook's the best place for us.
That's awesome. And it sounds like you've got a great core of sponsors that you're proud to display their logos of and to race in front of. And I just give you the floor for any of those, or any individuals that you want to send a shout out to.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, my grandfather has done a lot for me since I started racing. He got me into the sport, and he's just been there every race since then. This will be our 11th year doing it. And like I said, he doesn't know anything about race cars, but he's willing to learn anything, just to help me out. So definitely my grandpa, number one. He's my sidekick. My whole family, like I mentioned, I think it really does make a difference, it being a family sport, and having, my mom and sister and other family members in the stands cheering for me. That's always a good feeling to look up and see them. As far as sponsors go, I do really appreciate those guys. Most of them have been with me, like I said, for these 11 years. Granite Falls is a pretty small town, so we all know each other, and they understand that this is really a dream come true for me. So people like Jim Bass Trucking, Bickford Motors, I work there at a dealership, Art by Nature, Buzzin Restaurant, Dunlap Industrial Hardware, A Squared Graphics. They're actually out of Cottage Grove. They do my graphics. He kills it every time. We get a lot of compliments off them, and I'm really excited to show off the 2023 car this year. He really helped me bring a concept and a foundation that's really dear to my heart, and we're going to bring it alive onto the race car for 2023. So I'm excited to unveil that and let everyone know what that's going to be. But yeah, I think just all my sponsors, my family, Sharon and Fred Crabtree, they help me out a ton. He works on my car every week, and just the people who support us every year, whether it's just coming out to a race or buying a T-shirt, anything like that really helps.
And something I was going to mention too, you have a meet and greet coming up, right?
Yeah, so this was an idea that my mom and grandma and some others among my family came up with when I started getting into sprint cars. I was 15, almost 16. The ball was kind of turning over. It was kind of time for me to step up and start, getting a job, paying for those kind of things. And, my family came up with this idea of, hey, let's get your name out into the community and let's, show our sponsors off, but let's also fundraise. Let's let the community also give back and help you as well. So it's a really fun event. It's 6 years ongoing, and we plan on doing it until nobody else shows up. But yeah, we do dinner, and there's a silent auction. It includes, some of my old wing panels. There's some really cool signs that we have donated from some sponsors. Les Schwab gift receipts. There's a lot of stuff. So everybody comes out, and it's a good time to see everybody again and spend time with them before the season gets so crazy that I can't respond to a Facebook message.
No doubt. And for those that are listening, because there's a lot that listen in Washington State, what are the times and the date on that again?
So that is March 25th. It's at 5. Doors open at 5. We'll have dinner at 6. All the details are on my Facebook and the racing Facebook as well. But yeah, it's just right here in Granite. Super, super laid back. We just like to, enjoy everybody's company before the season starts. And the dinner is great. We usually have a flank steak with some sides, and it's only $10. So you can't go wrong.
Awesome. It sounds like a wonderful time. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we thank you for taking this time of telling us about obviously last year and the exciting things that you were able to accomplish and what looks like to be some exciting things in 2023. And definitely going to be looking at you with some interest. Hopefully get to see you live in person a couple times this year.
Yeah, that's our goal. I'd love to make it down there. Like I said, I'd love to see my family down there and get to support that side of the Pacific Northwest. So
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Bailey, for doing this interview.
yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to this latest episode of Getting Up to Speed with me, Ben Dethridge. We hope you enjoyed this program. We hope also that you hit the subscribe button and the like button, as that really helps things out, spreads things out. Be sure and share as well on social media so that more people can listen to these great interviews and from these great drivers. Getting Up to Speed is a production of Highside Racing Promotions. For more information, you can check it all out on Facebook, Highside Promotions.